You ever get that feeling that you're seeing the same story, the same opinion, pretty much everywhere you look? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on our information world. We're going to see how our reality is shaped, and spoiler alert, it's not by accident, it's by design. And it all starts with the oldest tool of control there is, the story itself. This quote right here? This is our foundation for everything we're talking about today. It's the timeless truth, you know? It connects the ancient mythmakers all the way to today's tech platforms. The power to spin a good yarn has never just been about, telling a tale. It's always been about influence. And ultimately, it's about control. So to really get a handle on the algorithms and the news cycles of today, we have to go way back. We need to start with this ancient concept, a really powerful metaphor that, honestly, frames our modern problem perfectly. So let's dive in and unpack the ancient frame.
Okay, so in ancient philosophy, the Demiurge wasn't some all-powerful god. It was more like a cosmic craftsman. It wasn't evil or anything, just limiting. Its whole job was to take the infinite, raw, messy complexity of reality and build a simpler, more contained world for us to live in. So the key is to not think of it as a being, but as a mechanism, a system that literally builds the walls of our perception.
This breaks it down perfectly. Check it out. On the left, you've got ultimate truth. That's reality in all its chaotic, unfiltered glory. And on the right, the manufactured experience, the curated, simplified version that we actually see and live in. That thing in the middle, that filter standing between the two, that's the Demiurge.
So this whole idea of a filter, it's not new, not at all. The pattern of control has been incredibly constant throughout history. It's the tools that power it that have changed. And boy, have they changed dramatically.
And this timeline just lays it all out. The power to shape reality started with priesthoods controlling the myths, right? Then it shifted to scribes who were the gatekeepers of the written word. The printing press came along and scaled it all up. Then broadcast media centralized it. And now, today, algorithmic platforms personalize it for every single one of us. The tools have gotten so much more sophisticated, but the goal? Shaping the story, that remains exactly the same.
Which, of course, brings us to today. So what is the modern Demiurge? Well, it's not one single thing. It's the whole collection of powerful institutions that manage the fire hose of information we're all drinking from every single day. Yep, just like that ancient craftsman, our modern institutions, we're talking media giants, big tech, academic gatekeepers, they all act as these incredibly powerful narrative filters. They are the funnels. They decide what gets amplified, what gets buried, and which ideas just never even make it to the party. So how do they actually do it? Well, it's basically a three-part mechanism. First, there's cognitive flooding. They throw so much information at you that you become totally dependent on them to sort it all out. Second, standardized narratives. Complex events get boiled down into these easy-to-digest, prepackaged stories. And third, incentive structures. You get rewarded with likes, with shares, with profit for just staying within the lines of the accepted story.
And here's the real kicker. These mechanisms are so effective because they exploit our own mental shortcuts. They tap right into our confirmation bias, our desire to hear what we already believe. Our authority bias, our tendency to just trust the experts, our status quo bias, our preference for things to just stay the same, and our need for a good story, for narrative coherence, a story that just feels right. These aren't bugs in our brains, they are features, and they're being leveraged at a massive scale.
Okay, let's make this even more real. I'm going to show you some quick, everyday examples of this mechanism working right out in the open. You see it all the time. Just think about the trending topics you see. I mean, when the same handful of stories are dominating every single platform at the same time, that's cognitive flooding in action. It sets the boundaries for what we're all supposed to be talking about, creating a powerful standardized narrative by default. Or how about this one? Search autocomplete. You know those suggestions that pop up? They're not random. They are guiding your curiosity before you've even finished asking the question. It's a really subtle way of prepackaging a standardized narrative, just pointing you down certain paths of thinking. And the synchronized news cycle. Oh man, ever notice how dozens of outlets will suddenly cover the exact same story with the exact same angle all at once? That's cognitive flooding and standardized narratives working together in perfect harmony. It creates this overwhelming and sometimes totally artificial sense of consensus.
So what are we really looking at here? Is this all just a series of massive coincidences? Or is it the predictable result of an ecosystem that is literally designed to coordinate our perception and engineer what feels true?
So, why does any of this matter? I mean, really? Because understanding this mechanism isn't about being paranoid. It's about awareness. It's about empowerment.
And here is the most crucial point. The goal of this modern demiurge isn't to force you to think a certain way. It's so much more subtle than that. The goal is to engineer the environment, the whole information ecosystem, where your beliefs are most likely to form along these predictable lines. It's like building the riverbed so that the water has no choice but to flow in the direction you want.
And that leaves us with one final and I think really critical question. If the world we perceive is constructed, then the real power lies in becoming the architects of our own understanding. The challenge for us isn't just asking what is true, it's asking how is truth being framed for me? Your answer to that question, well, that changes everything.